Y'all, you gonna let Chanel play in your face like this? Baby, let me tell you this. Chanel is out of control. Shanae, sis, let's have a talk. Hey, Boss Babes, what's going on? It's your girl, Ashley Ann, social media strategist, entrepreneur, award-winning luxury event designer, and overall, your level of resource. So today, we're not talking about business. Well, we kind of are. This is a cross between business and lifestyle, okay? And I get really excited when the two merge. So overnight, Chanel did an insane price increase. And for those of us that have been working with Chanel for a few years, I believe we all started noticing in 2019 that they got very aggressive with the price increases. And a lot of people just focus on the bags, but they've increased across the board on ready to wear, accessories, SLGs. Around 2021, they started placing pretty strict limits on how many items a customer could purchase, right? Throughout the US, not just for a boutique. So let's really talk about this, because at this point, from a business perspective, I understand being able to generate high profits, maybe, for a few years in, but I'm not really sure if this is sustainable. At this point, Chanel wants to compete with Hermes. Let me get it correct. I don't want to disrespect Hermes, okay? Shanae is trying to compete with Hermes, and Shanae is out here basically, baby, saying, if you broke, don't tote my bag. If you're a broke boy, broke gal, we don't want you. That's what Chanel is trying to communicate. However, as they continue to increase in price, their quality continues to decrease, y'all. I'm going to give you an example firsthand, not from someone else, but from me. So I have a piece of earrings that I purchased out of the Chanel fine jewelry collection, okay? These earrings are $28,000 when I purchased them. Literally, after the third wear, and they were in their little protective case, protective baggie. They haven't been damaged, haven't been rough with them. Literally, the back spine to the earring detached itself from the front part of the earring. After 3 wears, I literally had the earrings maybe for 90 days, okay? It is not uncommon, story after story, of people having to take their bags back to the Chanel store because the flap is crooked. They're having issues with the zipper. The clasp isn't closing the way it's supposed to close. And we all know that since 2008, the Chanel hardware is no longer real gold, right? So this presents an interesting conundrum for them, that they continue to increase the price because they want to focus on their top 20% of customers, right? Or their top 20% of clients, which are people that spend a little bit over $54,000 a year with Chanel. However, I've also noticed a lot of Chanel loyalists and enthusiasts actually saying, I think I'm done with Chanel. I've seen several of them selling off their Coco, selling off their flaps, and also selling off some of the trendy bags, and definitely with the boy bags, because they no longer feel like the brand is a great representation. So let's talk about why this is happening, okay? And then we'll get into the pricing, and then I'll give my recommendations, as if Chanel cares what I think. But I'm gonna put it out there anyway, okay? Because Shanae wanted to talk. They started this whole thing when they raised these prices this morning, so we gonna talk about it, okay? Blink, blink, blink. They playing games. They trying to play in your face, okay? And it's not cool. It's not okay. All right. So number one, okay, the number one issue, the big elephant in the room, the quality issues. The price increases, the quality continues to decrease. They have got to get a handle on this pronto, or their customers will continue to pour their money into Hermes, Dior, Goyard, Loewe, and several other brands that seem to care about the clients, okay? Y'all, even Gucci sends out Christmas gifts, okay? And they seem to have a quality product that's not breaking, tearing, busting, or literally when your SA in Chanel presents the product to you, that it's literally falling apart in the box before you even take it out of the store, okay? That's number one. Number two, the customer experience. Those of us that have been with Chanel for a very long time, we have definitely noticed that there's a huge difference in the way that you are treated. Now, I'll be honest, my SAs have been very good to me, and that's probably because I've been with them for a very long time. However, I remember back in the day when I would save my money for a year to be able to purchase, my bag or my earrings or whatever it was that I had my eye on, or a brooch, or, just whatever it was, you would go into the store. And even though I was only visiting the Chanel boutique maybe once or twice a year, they were so kind. The SAs spent so much time with you back in the day. They would give you a glass of champagne while you shopped. You got to sit in a private room while they wrapped up your purchase. It was just a whole experience. Those things have changed so much. Your SAs don't give random text anymore. They're not sending out, thank you cards or Christmas gifts. They're not calling a lot of people to come in, on slower days for the boutiques. And sometimes I've heard that some people aren't even able actually to get appointments because of they only made one or two purchases compared to people that have a stronger purchase history like me. And I just don't think that that's good for any brand, because all businesses grow by new customers and new clients, increased transaction amounts, and repeat and return customers. And you have to start the relationship somewhere, right? So that's very interesting to me that there seems to be a decline in the customer experience. Also, the third issue that they're having, they have got to get a handle on this replica market. So this is the thing out here in these streets, okay? These beautiful, 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 beautiful classic flap bags, y'all. They are everywhere. There are so many replicas to the point that people pretty much assume if you're carrying one of these that is fraudulent, okay? They be like, oh, she on her fake ish. That must be a scammer over there. Nah, dog, everybody's ain't fake, but I'm going to be honest. They are getting so good with the replicas. A lot of times I can't tell the difference between an authentic and a replica bag until I can actually feel it and touch it, and look for some of the very specific stamps and markers that Chanel puts inside of their bags, okay? Sometimes there's some you can see with, from the glance of an eye, and I'm not talking about a replica that costs a couple $100s. Y'all, they have some of these replicas that are, I'll say they start at about $800 up, but they're really, really good replicas. So this is a huge issue because people that already own this bag or may have wanted to purchase it because of, it had a certain connotation of like an elevated luxury almost, right? They no longer want to purchase the bag because it no longer has that stigma, or not stigma, it no longer has that reputation. Now it has a stigma on it because there are so many replicas of this bag. Now, also, something that Chanel has done, which makes sense because they want to be in line with Hermes, is they've put a limit on how much Chanel one customer or one client can purchase. Now, my essays told me this was to combat the overselling, okay, in the pre-loved market. That there were several people that were just coming to Chanel and buying bag after bag after bag, not because they wanted to enjoy it, not because they wanted to wear it, not because they love Chanel, but simply because they wanted to flip the bags. So I understand this. So now, since 21, there's a limit of, I believe, 2 classics per customer. There's, I believe, is it 12 total on the SLGs and accessories, 40 when it comes to cosmetics and fragrances and something, and I think only 2 on the classic, sorry, not the classic flat, but on the cocoa as well. So once you, and then there's a total of 12 bag. There's a total 12 bag limit, and that's across any of the stores in the US. So once you've hit that, that's it. Okay, so that has definitely made some of their current clients feel some type of a way. Also, another issue that they're having right now, there's a lot of status shaming that is happening out here in these social media streets. And so I've seen, guys and gals say, I don't want to rock my Chanel anymore because it feels tone deaf, right? That I'm carrying around a bag, and as of this morning, a small flap is $9,600. Y'all, that's a $1,400 increase since February. A medium classic flap is $10,200. A jumbo classic flap, $11,000. And if you want it in a maxi, $11,500. All of the trendies start at $6,000. That's one of my favorite Chanel bags. The Chanel 19s are starting at about $6,300. They have done markups on all of the seasonal bags, the pouches, the makeup, the jewelry, the shoes, everything across the board. So if you're carrying a classic flap, and we're going to say in a medium, right? Because that's one of the most popular sizes. Basically, you have $10,000 hanging on your shoulders. A lot of people have said that they are experiencing people staring at them or looking at them when they are rocking these bags. And they feel it's as if they are tone deaf because they have at that time $8,000 hanging on their shoulder, when casually, when people are having a hard time just meeting kind of day to day expenses. Now, I personally think people are staring because they're trying to figure out if it's real or not because there's so many replicas that have flooded the market, or maybe it's a bag that they admire, right? A classic flap is still a coveted bag, at least for now. However, there's a strings of things that Chanel honestly has to get a handle on if they want this new business model to succeed and to become sustainable. I don't think men and women who are good with their money will continue to purchase these bags as the quality declines and decreases. Because when you look at basic economics and we look at the laws of supply and demand, if the demand goes down, the supply goes up, the price goes down, right? And you can go on almost any pre-loved market, secondhand market, whatever you want to call it, on almost any site, and you're going to see at least 4 to 8 Chanel classic bags available, right? So there's lots of them in the marketplace, the authentic bags right now. And so this is going to present a problem. So I'm not really sure how Chanel exactly is going to is going to get a hold of that, how they're going to get some of those bags out of the marketplace. But when you couple that with the fact that the quality is decreasing and that they have been very, very clear that they no longer want to service a client that just comes in to purchase a piece of Chanel for their birthday or for Christmas or anniversary, just for some special occasion, which again, I think that that's a huge mistake because that relationship has to start somewhere. I used to be the girl that would save up my money all year to get my piece of Chanel. And then I turned into a woman that has several multi-million dollar businesses, and I can buy Chanel whenever I want to now, right? And I frequent Chanel, and I am one of those customers that spends over $50,000 a year in Chanel, but I didn't start off as that. I grew into a relationship with Chanel. And so I really feel like they could be missing the mark with putting together these stringent rules, because clearly with these new price updates, they are letting everyone know they only want people of a certain economic status and also probably of a particular social status carrying their bags. What do y'all think about this? How do y'all feel about this? I want to know, honey. Y'all gonna let Shanae play in your face, or Shanae out? Okay, have they made one step too far? Okay, and y'all know there's several other brands out there that will value you, love you, adore you, treat you well, and be very appreciative to have you as a client. And honestly, there are several other brands that have amazing quality. Like, I'm not gonna front on y'all. Okay, not gonna front. My Hermes, okay, top notch, top notch. And at this point, as of this morning, Chanel is now priced more than Hermes. Boom. Okay. But from an investment standpoint, that's a really good thing, because if you do have bags that you want to put into the pre-loved market, you're going to be able to get top dollar for them right now. And you're going to definitely be making a profit. Okay. Anyway, I want to hear y'all's thoughts, questions, commentary, all of that good stuff. Leave it below. Okay. Bye.